Okay, and welcome to the Webinar Marketing Masterclass, and thank you for being here with me this afternoon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through a very effective webinar marketing strategy that you can use. You can take it away today and start applying it to webinars that you are running. Now, I'm not going to do a long introduction to myself, because I think you all know me, but I will give you a bit of snippets as we go through. So we're going to crack straight in to the content. So when I talk about a webinar attendee, an attendee in my world is somebody who actually makes time to either attend live or to watch the replay. Some experts will disagree with me on this. I know they will. But the thing is, you know, as much as we'd like them to, we can't force our audience to just stop everything and give us their time when to show up live when live. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, somebody who makes the time to either attend live or to watch the replay is an attendee, because they have given their time to watch your content. And you will know this yourself, but how many webinars do you sign up to and that's it, and you don't ever make time to watch? You're not going to attend live and you don't watch the replay. And there's a reason for that, which will become more apparent as we go along. But as far as I'm concerned, anybody who gives time to attend the live broadcast or the replay is an attendee. And that's how I count my attendees. So your audience is on a journey with you from the minute they get to know of you. From the minute they find you or you find them, they begin this journey with you. And there are 6 steps that they will go through before they be confident and ready enough to buy from you. And they are the attract step. That's the point where they find you or you find them. Then you begin to connect, you begin to build a relationship with them, and you know, in an offline networking world, this is the small talk that goes on and the first few conversations that you have. At step 3, you offer them something of value that they will be eager to download, eager to access, something that gives them a result that they can access in exchange for giving you their email address or subscribing to your messenger bot or something. So there's an exchange of value. Once somebody's got to know of you and begun to like you, they're intrigued about you. And at step 3, you offer them a way that they can get more impact, more of your results from you. And you're now beginning to build a list, an audience outside of social media. At step 4, you having captured their details, you now follow up with them. So you carry on doing what you were doing at step 2 and continue to have a conversation as a network. And at step 4, you've now got the ability to communicate outside of social media via email, via messenger, via browser notification. At step 5, you verify why you're the expert. So this is where your content comes in. This is where you're demonstrating what you know and showing them that you actually, you do know your stuff and that you are the person to help. At step 6, you satisfy them that now they've got to know, they're beginning to trust you, that they can depend on what they believe you to be when you show them what other people are saying about you. So the satisfy step is social proof. You probably heard the term social proof, and that comes in at the satisfy step. At 7 and 8, they will either inquire to work with you, they'll apply to work with you, they'll buy your small ticket item, your book or your program. And at step 8, they are either a repeat buyer, they're buying a bigger ticket item, or they've committed to working with you. At step 8, you've got that full commitment. Okay. Now, within this journey, there are 3 groups of people who are each group further along in their journey with you. So when somebody's only just come across you, or they're very recent into their journey with you, they're curious. They're curious of you because you're still just the name, but you've piqued their interest about a pain that they subconsciously know that they have, but it's not something that's keeping them awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're nowhere near yet ready to make a purchase or to invest any significant amount of time to deal with this pain. So when we talk about lead magnets and when we talk about length of posts and videos, the curious group will invest less time. So the curious group are not watching your long videos. They're not watching, they're not reading your long post. They want short, to the point snippet. Now, when you create a lead magnet for your curious audience, you give them a quick win result. And this is where cheat sheets, that's a word, come into play, because it's quick checklist, something quick that gives them something actionable that they can go off and apply, that you now become more than just a name. You become the person who has given them that little bit of help. If you think of this as a staircase, you're at the top of the staircase with your paid offer, your paid program, your services, and they when they come to you, they're at the very bottom of the staircase. So your first lead magnet gets them up the first step, right? So the second audience is the captivated audience. This audience is now consciously aware that they have a problem, and they've become consciously aware that they have a problem because of being on this journey with you. The more they read and watch of you, the more they're realizing that they do need to address this thing that you help them to address. So when you come to talk to your captivated audience, they want more information. So these guys will read your longer posts. They will watch your longer videos. Depending on how far into the captivated journey they are, depends on how much time they're willing to invest, but they are more willing to invest than the first audience. So this audience will, in terms of a lead magnet, they'll read your longer ebooks. They'll participate in an online challenge, for example, because there's more time investment required. The third group are committed. The third group have said, right, I know this is a problem that I need to fix. I know I've got this pain that I need to resolve. They're motivated to act. They're still not quite necessarily, depending on how far into the committed step they are, to whether they are actually ready or not yet to buy. They want more evidence. Prove to me that I'll be making the right decision by working with you. So you can see how the three audiences are moving through your through the journey with you. Okay, now this is important when it comes to your webinars, because your webinar is, I don't know if you think of your webinar as a lead magnet, but your webinar is a lead magnet for your committed audience, right? So when we come to promote the webinar, we want to promote the webinar to the people who are most likely to show up, not the people who are most likely to sign up but won't show up. So where I said just now that you know that there are people whose webinars you sign up to because you're attracted to the promise of it, but you make no effort to show up in any way, live or replay. And it's depending on how far in your journey you are with them. Okay, so what I see happening over and over again, people promoting webinars to those who don't even know them. So haven't even started their journey. They don't know who they are. Their first the first meeting of you, the first sight of you that they have is in front of them promoting a webinar. So they might sign up. So you might be celebrating, woohoo, I got 100 sign-ups from this Facebook ad, but they ain't showing up. And if they don't consume the content, you can't help them, you can't guide them along the journey, right? If you're promoting to your curious audience, they'll sign up, but they're not far enough into the journey yet to recognize the value that you would deliver in your webinar. Now, the captivated, again, depending on how far into the captivated step that they are, will sign up and show up. The committed audience will sign up and show up because they are further along. And so when you are promoting your webinar, don't put your webinar in front of people who have never heard of you or who have only just heard of you. Don't focus, definitely do not focus your advertising spend on people who don't know you. Don't be going to Facebook adverts and say, show this to people interested in online marketing or Facebook, or, you know, because these guys generally won't know who you are. So they're not even on the journey with you yet, right? So you want something in front. So you have a short lead magnet for the curious audience, something longer for the captivated audience, and then the webinar serves those who are halfway through the captivated audience to help them to nurture them into committed, and it serves the committed audience. Yeah, makes sense? Any questions, please do pop them in the Q&A box, and I will come to the questions at the end of the session. So that's the first step, if you like. Think about who you are promoting your webinar to, and do not put any ad spend on promoting a webinar to those who don't know you. Put your ad spend on promoting your curious lead magnet so that you can nurture them through to becoming captivated and committed and showing up for your webinar. So the people who are most likely to be in your captivated or committed audiences and attend your webinar are those who are in your email list. Not all of them, obviously, because it will depend who or when they joined and how far in. Not necessarily when they joined, because it's not the length of time that dictates the journey, it's the depth of relationship, the depth of emotional connection that they have with you. So people who have already subscribed to your lead magnets are more likely to show up. People who are on your messenger list, who have subscribed to your messenger bot, are more likely to show up. People who have given you permission to put browser push notifications on their screen. You know, on a Mac, you know, you get all the notifications down on the right hand side. Well, a browser push notification is a notification that you can send that will appear in the corner of their computer, regardless of what software they're using right now. So they come to your website, give you permission, and then you can send them a notification. Now, they're not going to do that. Nobody, the curious audience are not going to subscribe to your messenger or browser list. So they're more likely to show up for your webinar. When it comes to remarketing audiences, because you are tracking, aren't you? You are setting up remarketing audiences for every single page that you've got on your website and everywhere, aren't you? So when it comes to your remarketing audiences, the people who are most likely to be in your captivated or committed audiences are people who have watched 50%. Actually, sometimes 25%. It depends on the length of the video. But 25–50% of your video, if they've watched that much, they're more likely to be in the committed or captivated audience. Someone who saw the video for 3 seconds or watched 10 seconds is more likely to be in the curious or neither, okay? People who have actually read blog posts on your website, so they've come to your website to read blog posts on a topic that is related to your webinar. People who have attended webinars previously that you've run. People who have downloaded your lead magnets, and they you track the thank you page. You track the visitors to the thank you page, which broadly will encompass your email and messenger subscribers, but it could have extras in there if they've unsubscribed, because they're still being tracked in the Facebook audience. And people who have participated in your online challenge, which, as I said just now, was a lead magnet for your captivated audience. So again, your curious audience will sign up for the challenge but won't necessarily participate. Okay, So we give them something shorter, and then we nurture the relationship to invite them to participate in a challenge or read a longer ebook or watch a series of videos, and then the webinar. Okay. Right, so I love online challenges, and that's so powerful. Now, an online challenge, if you've participated in my online visibility challenge, you'll know what I'm talking about. 5-day, no, there are 30-day challenges, and I get the reason for 30-day challenges. I'm never going to criticize anyone who runs 30-day challenges because they obviously work, right? But for me, I don't have the patience for that. And I know for me, I'm going to show up for 5 days, but I'm not going to show up. They're going to lose me after probably 10 days. Now, when you run 5 days, it's short enough to keep the attention high, but long enough to give them a result, that they go away from the challenge having learned and gained something that they didn't have before they started from showing up for 5 days in a row. So it's a fantastic way to deepen the relationship you have with a smaller segment of your audience. Now, because I know that people stress about the size of their audience, I know that there's a belief that those with huge audiences have advantages over those who don't, and it's not true. I really want you to understand it's not the case. What is the case is the depth of the relationship. It's no good having, I don't know what you would consider to be a big list, but let's just say 20,000 people. There's no good having a list of 20,000 people if none of them care or don't believe that you care. But when if you've got a list of, say, 300 and you've got a deep relationship with them, or a list of 100 and you've got a deep relationship with them, that's far more valuable. And you can do that with an online challenge because it quickens up, speeds up the transition from curious to committed. Now, like I say, 5 days, and you deliver daily challenges over the 5 days. So when I did mine live, I did the first day as a live stream in a Facebook group, and then I pre-recorded days 2 to 5 and uploaded them daily to the group. So you ask people to opt in to access the challenge so that you're building a list of your captivated audience. And you go big on value and invest time in nurturing the participants throughout the challenge. This is huge. Go over deliver on their expectations. This is free content. The first time, you don't even have to do it live. I love live interaction. I love it. I thrive on it. So I love doing my live challenge, and I was in there. I was spending a couple of hours a day networking in that group. Your goal when you do a challenge is to give them the result that you promised them, but wow them. Show up and wow with being of service here, because it's fantastic. You get to know each other better, and you really, you really deepen that relationship. And at the end of the challenge, you can invite them to attend your webinar, online training, which builds on what you've covered in the challenge, and then you can invite those who are ready to step up and continue working with you. Okay. Now, when I did my challenge live, 300 people registered for the challenge, 100 registered for the webinar. Now that pays out, right? For 3 groups of within the audience. 100 registered for the webinar. 29 showed up for the webinar live, and 68 watched the replay, which is 97 out of 100. £11,500 in sales, up from an ad spend of £202, and 45 people joined my messenger list through promoting the challenge. So 180 of that £202 was spent promoting the challenge to my remarketing audiences. Right? So, 300 audience, and in effect 100 at the end, because I'll talk about the audiences that you promote to after the webinar in a minute. But you don't need huge numbers, and it makes a big difference when you have a good relationship with your audience. Okay, so a typical webinar promotion might look like this. You send out a few emails, you might set up a Facebook event, although to be honest, there was a thing of setting up Facebook events for webinars a couple of years ago. It doesn't seem to be as popular today. You'll write a Facebook post, or maybe do a Facebook ad, and I know this is happening. I've seen it. Facebook ads running out to cold audiences to promote a webinar. You probably promote it on Twitter or LinkedIn or Insta, wherever, right? Then you send people to register on the registration page. Then email reminders go out from the webinar system, and you probably had an email reminder about an hour ago from Zoom reminding you that we were going live at 4. Then they attend the webinar. Then you put the replay on the sales page, and then you promote the offer that you offered at the end of the webinar via email and post and ads and do whatever with that, right? So let me show you the effective webinar marketing. Right, so the purple shapes are newly added. The orange were there from just now. So use Messenger. So you've got a Messenger list. If you haven't, I'll talk about how you can build it in a minute. You've got a Messenger list. You send, so we know that the curious audience are not likely to subscribe to your Messenger list. And we know that the captivated and committed audience are more likely to attend your webinar and sign up for your Messenger list, right? So use Messenger marketing. You can sign up via Messenger. I'll show you that in a minute. If you're doing Facebook ads, run them to your remarketing audiences. The audiences we talked about just now, your 50% video viewers, your website visitors, your blog readers, email, blah, 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 right? Then you send them to a webinar registration page, a squeeze page, not the registration page that the software offers, but a squeeze page that you built yourself in a page builder with a remarketing audience set up for it. So tracking who visits the sign up page. Then you have a separate thank you page. So anyone who's registered sees a separate page that says, hey, thanks for signing up. And you have another audience for that, another remarketing audience for that, so you know who signed up. Then you send out a stick marketing. I'll talk about stick marketing in a minute, via email or ads, and the 30-minute reminder via Messenger to, you know, we're going live in a minute, in 30 minutes. After the webinar has happened, and you put the replay on the sales page, create a PDF summary of it. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And then after the webinar, you send out your expert authority and promo Facebook ads and email messages to your audience. So I'm going to go into more detail about what each of those mean now. But you can see there are added steps, and these added steps make a lot of difference. Right, so messenger marketing. Messenger marketing is to use a messenger bot, and a messenger bot works just like your email opt-in. The new thing for 2017, it only really came into mainstream use January, maybe this year. Not many people are using it yet. But what it means is that you can build a separate community of your captivated and committed audiences who have given you permission to send your marketing messages to their personal Facebook Messenger inbox, not their business page where they do business, but their personal inbox where they chat with their friends. And you can send marketing. Now, this is not spam. This is not you. Or, you know, we've all had those inbox messages from people trying to sell to us that we haven't invited to do that. It's not that. It's you offer them something of value. In exchange, they can sign up using your messenger bot, and you can now follow up with them via messenger. Now, messenger messages have a 100% delivery rate, and I cannot remember when we last had a 100% delivery rate on an email, ever. You always get an emails that don't get through. Either they bounce, or people say I never got it. The average open and read rate of my messenger marketing is 89%. Yet the average open rate of emails is 25%. And you'll know this. You'll know how many emails that are in your inbox that you actively open and read. It's not 100%, is it? Yeah, you get a pop-up on here and you can't not read it, can you? Even if you don't reply, you've seen it. That's the power of messenger marketing. More of your stuff, more of your marketing is being seen. Now, there's some recent stats for my messenger marketing, just to prove, if you want to do the math with the read percentages. So the segment, like I said, the segment of your audience who are most likely to subscribe to your messenger marketing are largely the same audience who will attend your webinar. So it makes super sense to use messenger to promote your webinar, to make sure that they see it, to make sure that the people who are most likely to sign up and show up, the people who are most likely to show up, see that you are offering, that you're hosting the webinar, so it doesn't get caught up in the email inbox that they may not read. Right? It makes sense. Now, if you don't already have a messenger list, and you in all likelihood don't, because it's pretty new, you can invite people to register for your webinar via your messenger bot and do it that way, and build your list of messenger subscribers that way. And you may have subscribed to this, you may have signed up to this webinar via the post on my page, where as you can see on there, to reserve your place here, comment in on this post to receive the joining details by messenger. If you don't have a messenger list already, you can build it through the webinar registration. Now, just for transparency, the building the messenger list and messaging people on the list is free. To do this with the comment opt-in costs $10 a month. It's probably near enough the same thing now. It's not a huge amount, but it will, you'll make that back easy from more people coming on your webinars and hearing your offer and getting the option to work with you. It's powerful. So, you know, seriously, one way or the other, either use a messenger landing page and offer opt-in that way, or this, to start building a list of messenger subscribers so that you can get more people to A, hear about, and B, show up for your webinars. Now, I know you're already doing this because you've been around me for a while and you've heard me say this a few hundred times, right? You are already creating remarketing audiences for every page in your journey, aren't you? I don't need to tell you this, I'm just going to in case. Create a Facebook audience for your webinar registration page so you know who visited the page. For the webinar registration thank you page so you know who signed up for the webinar. The sales page that you send them to at the end of the webinar, a remarketing audience for that. And if a thank you page for that, a separate thank you page for that offer exists, a remarketing audience for that. And and 3-second and 50% video view audiences for any live streams or video that you upload to your Facebook page to promote the webinar. Audiences for them too. But you already know that, don't you? You're already doing it. Right, let's talk about the stick. Stick it comes from sticky, which is one of those old marketing terms from the old paradigm, and I don't know another way to say it, but it comes from keeping people sticky between saying yes and taking action, right? So sticky between signing up for the webinar and attending the webinar. So you can show them a sticky campaign, sticky emails between their sign up for the webinar and showing up for the webinar. And so you can use ads, you can use emails, whatever, and you can tease a hot topic that you'll be covering in the webinar to get, the idea is to build the buzz, to build the excitement for them to make time to watch, to attend the webinar. Tease the hot topic, announce their bonuses for attendees. Sometimes people offer something for free if they show up for the webinar. Years ago, probably 3 years ago, I offered a free DVD of one of my older webinars for everyone who showed up for my webinar and stayed to the end. And I offered it for people who showed up live and watched the replay. And if I did it again, I wouldn't do that. I would put a cap date on it. Because what happened was, there was a cap date. The cap date was the offer date. But what I would do if I did that again is I would stop people. I would stop the just whizzing through, like on the replay, to go straight through to fast forwards. They didn't watch the video. Didn't watch the webinar. I just went straight to the end to get the free DVD. It cost me a fortune sending them out, and I didn't bring in any extra sales. So, but some people do announce a bonus for showing up. You might offer a bonus for views in the first 24 hours, say. So, until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Something, if you're going to do it, I would suggest it's something digital, so you're not paying up for postage. Maybe a free guide, a free ebook, or a free worksheet, or something that they can access. And if you're going to do that, I don't, but if you do that, tell them about it in your stick campaign. And don't forget to send the "we're going live in 30 minutes" message via Messenger to everyone who signed up via your messenger bot. So everyone that you've tagged as having signed up for the webinar, they get their reminder. And what I did, if you may have got a reminder from me for this link to come and join within the in a messenger message. It's another way of encouraging attendance. So there's an example of a stick campaign, a stick advert. Hey, you already registered. This is what I'm going to be covering. See you there. All right, now post the webinar. Sometimes people just can't or won't spend 60, 90, 120 minutes, however long, attending a webinar, but may be interested in buying your offer if given the opportunity. There's also a segment of your audience who won't watch video, but would read a PDF. So another way, or not another way, this is a way to increase your sales conversions from people who did not attend the webinar, right? So you can create a PDF, a summary or a report, or even a transcript of the content covered during the webinar, and offer that PDF to the audience that you promoted the webinar to as an alternative to the webinar. So hey, I know you didn't sign up for the webinar, but I've created this free PDF report for you. Would you like that? And offer that to them as an alternative to showing up for the webinar. So they get the content and they get the offer. Now, there's an easy way to do this. First of all, is when you finish the webinar, upload it to YouTube so that you can host it on your sales page, and then go to rev.com and order captions for the webinar. When you add captions to a video, or let me rewind, 75% of people won't turn their sound on to watch a video. So they'll always be watching without sound. So when you order captions, you increase the consumption because they don't need sound. They can read what you say, so they'll stick around longer, right? So you order the captions for the webinar, and then when the caption file is delivered, add them to your replay. Although if the replay's on YouTube and you've ordered the caption via Rev, they'll do that for you. But then download from Rev the text file, which is just one long file of text, which is the transcript of your captions that you can edit to create your PDF summary report, transcript, whatever, that you offer out. And you could design it in Canva, you could design it in Designer, the software that I use to create my workbooks, or you could just send it out as a black and white PDF, but you give them the opportunity to consume the content in their preferred format, reading. And then you're telling them, you add the call to action, give them all the details of the offer that you shared in the webinar, add the call to action to buy, the link to sales page. And when I did it for this webinar here, with that report, 20% more sales. 20% of sales came from that report. And I know, because I tracked it. It's worth doing. It's extra effort for sure, but it's worth doing, especially if you've got like an offer period of a week. You know, I'll be working on the report tomorrow, from tomorrow once the transcript comes back. So it'll probably go out on Monday. So you've got time, but it makes a difference. If you want to put the effort in, it makes a difference, because it means that more people can consume. So after the webinar, and you're now promoting the offer that you offered, the program that you offered in the webinar, your post-webinar promo goes to the people who registered for the webinar. So that's your thank you page, remarketing audience, or the people tagged in your email list as having registered. It's the people who visited the sales page where you're hosting the replay, and so those two are the attendees, and it's the people who downloaded the PDF, which you track with another remarketing audience or a tag in your email list. Those are the people, only those people, who get the follow-up promo, the emails, Facebook ads, Messenger, however you, and all of the above. Right? You're only showing it to these three groups of people because the others aren't interested. These guys are interested. Now, in the post-webinar promo, as well as the, this is the offer, buy it kind of promo, you want to be showing expert authority so that you give your audience more reasons and opportunities to say yes to your offer than they have reasons to say no, because you're layering up all of the benefits of what you're offering. So this might be case studies of previous clients and their results. It might be authority articles if you've been featured on a decent authority website. You will share that. Blogs that you've been featured in that demonstrate your expertise. It might be a story about a previous client that you've worked with their results. Not quite the same thing as a case study. Case study is more in depth. It might be where you share endorsements that other experts have given you, relevant expert, or interviews that you've done that are relevant. And again, like I say, as well as the buy my stuff kind of promo. But you're showing them all the benefits of working with you, not just buy stuff. Right? You'll notice that when people promote, if you ever see these big joint venture promos that go out, it's never just buy this thing. There's always other benefits that come out every day. They layer the excitement, they build up the buzz as it gets closer, and that's what this is. Your expert authority post webinar promo. Might be unannounced bonuses, might be as well. It might be if there was no payment plan, add that in afterwards, and that becomes part of this as well. You just keep layering on all the good stuff, right? So, in summary, you're going to promote your webinar to your captivated and committed audiences. Create a remarketing audience for the registration page and the thank you page. So you now know who has signed up, as well as in your email service, you've got your list of who has signed up. So you know who they are. You've got this audience segmented. Show your stick. I don't like the term, but I don't know of a better one. Intrigue. Show your intrigue marketing, buzz marketing, buzz. Show your buzz marketing to those people who have registered. So they're the people in the thank you page remarketing audience, and the people who are in your email list, and the people tagged in your messenger bot as having registered. Create a PDF of your webinar content after the webinar and invite your captivated and committed audiences to access that as an alternative to the webinar and track who does. How I do this is I put it on a separate landing page. When I do this, I don't put an opt-in on it. It's only available for a few days. It's not something that's available forever. It's only available usually for the duration of the offer, and then I take the page down. But I have it on a landing page with a button, download here, and I've got a remarketing audience set up for that landing page, so I know who downloaded the PDF. So they then go into the audience that are seeing the promo, and those are the guys who see the follow-up, the people who had registered wherever you're tracking them, the people who downloaded the PDF, and the people who went to the sales page where you've embedded the webinar replay. They are the people, the audiences who see your post-webinar promo. Not everybody, because if they were interested, they would have put that hand up already to either the webinar or the PDF. And by bombing, it doesn't increase your conversions at all. It will decrease your relevance as well. You want to be relevant to the people who are putting their hand up and saying, yeah, show me, tell me. Yeah? Right, now the challenges of this. If you are already running, you've already got an audience and you're already running webinars, you can just pick this up and go and get started now. You can make these little changes to the webinars that you're already running and you will see a difference in results. But if you don't know how to stand out from the crowd and find your audience online, you might think, well, this is challenging. I can't just get going. If you've got no email or messenger audience, or you've got an email but you haven't got a messenger audience, and you don't know what to offer as a lead magnet to build the list in either of those places. If you've got no online program to sell, but you've got ideas for programs. You just don't know how to create them or get them out there. If you currently do most of your marketing, most of your networking offline, and you're getting most of your clients offline, maybe you want to leverage your time and make all of your income online. But right now, you don't have enough to be able to go out and start running webinars. If you've never hosted an online challenge or a webinar before, perhaps that's a stumbling block. You don't know where to even start and the tech. Or if you're marketing your business on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever, but not enough of your clients, you're not getting enough people saying yes, do you think, you know, you're doing what you think is right, but they're not coming forward, and you know, so you know that if you go out and promote a webinar, you won't get enough people on it, or maybe you're just, you know, not really sure about what to offer, okay? Then I want to offer you a way you can get my help with your online marketing to get it working for you, so that you can attract more inquiries, more subscribers, more paying clients and endorsement opportunities, and more webinar attendees from your online marketing, regardless